Okay. Hello. What's up, Henry? How you doing? This is John Farrell with Farrell Swim Tech here with Team Zoot, and we're going to go over your footage, and I'm going to be giving you some tips on how to break that minute barrier in the 100 freestyle. Now, breaking the minute barrier in the 100 freestyle has kind of, in terms of my swimming background, has been one of the greatest, one of the big. Okay, you're kind of stepping up to the big leagues here in terms of sprinting. Now, these are high school kids. Usually, between JV and varsity, they break the minute barrier. Some varsity kids don't ever break the minute barrier, but breaking the minute barrier for a distance freestyler that doesn't have a swimming background is actually quite difficult. It takes a huge shift in your mentality as a swimmer. Okay, so that's what we're going to be going over. We're going to be going over mainly making that transition from a distance stroke into a sprint stroke. Now, what you have is not bad. It's a good foundation, but what we need to do is we need to, number one, get your legs kicking straighter. Number two, we need to emphasize different portions of your stroke. Okay? So, what we're going to do first is I'm going to go over, I got your video right here, and we're going to go over, I'm going to give you just some kind of lightning round play-by-play of what I'm seeing, and then we'll kind of get into the nitty-gritty, and then we'll start dissecting it a little bit further, okay? All right, here we go. Bring this back to the beginning. Okay, so number one, underwater, not too bad. You get to the flags, which is respectable. So right now I see a lot of white water, which is a very good thing. The only thing I can't tell, like I said before, is if you're kicking with your knees or with your legs. Your turn is actually pretty good. Looks like you bobbled that on the wall. Something I'm noticing is your hands are coming in like this, and your thumb is extended out. You can start to see it here a lot. Your thumb, especially in your right hand, your thumb comes straight out. Your breakout stroke can definitely use some work. Your breakout stroke is that first stroke after the streamline, and you pop that into your sprint. So the other thing I notice is that you're taking a lot of breaths. As a sprinter, you should only take about maybe 4 breaths. So if you do about 20, that's one. You take about 4 to 5 breaths. 5 breaths. Okay, there you go. You're kind of working towards the end. You're putting your head down, and oh, that finish! Oh, that finish! Oh, that finish was atrocious. I'm sorry. That finish is like touch. Punch that wall. Punch it, man. You're sprinting. You punch it. Okay, all right. I'm sorry. All right. So anyway, okay, couple big things here. Number one, let's talk about that mindset between a distance swimmer and a sprinter, okay? So for distance swimming, we're all about distance per stroke. We're reaching and rotating with the reach. Reach, reach, breathe, reach, reach, breathe, okay? So you get that rotation in by the reach, okay? You got to transition your thinking. You have to think like a boxer, all right? So when you're a boxer, you don't want to go, you want to go pop, 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 okay? You want to be able to pop out and get back here. So there's an extension, a push out, and then a pull back, okay? Pushing out is extending your tricep, pull back is contracting your out is your tricep, in is your bicep, okay? Pop, 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 pop. All right? Now you're probably thinking, okay, am I actually going to attack the water? Yes, we're going to attack the water, okay? So for sprinter, you don't want to reach and rotate. You want to punch, okay? That punch is what gets that rotation in. Punch, punch, punch. All right? The difference between a good sprinter and a great sprinter is where the emphasis is, okay? You don't want the emphasis to be here, okay? Although this will do you a lot of good if you just start doing that. What we want to emphasize is we want to emphasize the punch, rotate. pop. Fist motion, okay? It's pop, 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 pop. All right? So you're thinking, okay, it's all the way down here. No, it's actually about out here. All right? So you want to be able to come here, get that elbow up, pop it out, and pop, 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 pop. All right? And the other thing too is with your legs, I'm sorry, I am not in sprinting shape right now. Although I do guarantee I can go a sub 55 right now if I got in the pool. Give me a 200 warm up, I can give you a sub 5500 freestyle. It's all technique, my friend. It's all technique. So the way you start learning this is you start with boxing, okay? Get a little bit of a ready stance, okay? You want to try and get your hips square, okay? Get your hips square to the floor. Hips square to the floor. You're right here, okay? And punch back, punch back, punch back, okay? You got to think of the back. Punch back, punch back, punch back, punch back, punch back, punch back, punch, 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 punch. All right? You got to be able to do that for a minute, because that's what you're. Nah, you probably need to do it for about 40 seconds, really, because there's about 5 to 10 seconds where you're underwater. Okay, so about 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, about 2.5, 3 seconds per wall. Okay, so if you think about that, you got to be able to rapid fire your arms for. Okay, so if you want to go a minute, all right, let's take 2.5 seconds off each wall. You got 3 walls, 1 start, 2 turns, 1 finish. Okay, and that finish is a bam. You gotta punch that wall. Get in there. Get in there to the finish. Don't just. I'm sorry, it drives me nuts when I see high school kids do this. I'm like, punch the finish! Anyway, so, because that literally is the difference between a 101 and a 59. That finish right there is that difference. I can't emphasize how important punching that finish is. I won a race by 1/100th of a second. This much back in high school was the difference between first place and second place. It's the only time that ever happened to me. I've had a couple tenths, a 10th, 2 tenths, that's about this much, somewhere in this region, but itty bitty 1/100th. Okay, so excuse me. So when we transition from the boxers into the pole, okay, this is really important that you understand how to get that pole path, okay? That pole path from here to here, and bam, okay? And bam. You see that? Pop, 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 pop. All right? So the way we work this is we Tai Chi it first, and then we add speed later, okay? So punch, pull, punch, pull, punch, pull, punch, pull, punch, pull, punch, pull. Okay? Get that elbow up, get that rotation in. Okay? And pull, 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 pull. You see my arms? They're going right about my belly button every single time. Alright? So, this is a huge shift in mentality from sprinting to distance, okay? So, the way I recommend you work on this is you do broken 50s, okay? Break it up into 2 half 25s, right? So your first 50 is going to be 1 and 3, okay? Actually, no, your first 50 is going to be 1, 2. Yeah, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4. Okay? So your first one, 1, 2, is you're going to sprint the first 25, easy second 25, right? So then, that's it. That's a hard push off the water, hard push off the wall. Your streamline looks pretty good. The only thing I can tell with your streamline, I know we're kind of shifting gears here, is it looks like your head's a little bit up. Always, when you streamline, hand over hand, don't ever put your hands side to side, because there's always, all the turbulent forces going to make them do really weird things. You want a good streamline? Hand over hand, pop that thumb over, okay? Right here. Bam, bam, bam. Looks like your dolphin kick is pretty good. I don't really have enough information to critique you on that. It looks like you get a decent amount of power out of it. So honestly, I wouldn't change that. Just try and snap it a little bit harder. That's about all I got for you on the dolphin kick. But the underwater streamline, right here, your head, right this way. Head is in between your hands and reach up. One thing that people don't understand is that if you want a tighter streamline, you don't squeeze your arms together, you just reach up. If your hands are over and you reach forward, it's going to bring your arms together, okay? It's going to bring your arms together when you reach up. So, when you streamline, reach, don't squeeze, okay? When you reach, you will squeeze, all right? So then, the big thing is that breakout stroke. That breakout stroke sets the tempo. It sets the tempo for your swim, okay? So, when you pop, bam! All right? Usually, I go with my right. Usually, I go with my right. Pop. All right? It's just how I innately do it. So, kick, boom. All right? Another thing. Never breathe on the first stroke of the lap. Never do it. Just don't do it. Take about 4 strokes, then take a breath, right? Make sure you're breathing up at least every 4 strokes. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. If you take roughly 20 strokes per lap, that's going to be 1 stroke about every 4 to 5. 1 breath every 4 to 5 strokes, a little bit of slop left over at the end. Okay? That's how you want to think about your breathing. You never want to take more. You never want to do 2 breaths in a row. Okay? Breath down, breath down. In 100, no, just don't do it. This is hypoxic. Your lungs are going to hate you. It's the whole point of sprinting. Okay? Don't take a lot of breaths. Fight that urge. Put your head down and go. But don't take no breaths. The dumbest thing you can do is take 0 breaths on your first 25. You're going to hate yourself in that last 25. Trust me. It's happened. It happens all the time. So like I said, I think the biggest thing for you is getting that stroke turnover rate and learning how to pop. All right? But the emphasis is here. Bam, 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 bam. All right? And then learning how to translate that into the water. Okay? All right. So, other things that you can do to really, really hone that in is your kick. Okay? Your kick is your metronome. Your kick is what your arms do. Your kick dictates the speed of your arms. Okay? So let's watch this real quick. Let me see if I can tell what beat kick you have. Okay? Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Looks like you about have a 6-beat kick. See, I can tell that your stroke rate slows way down. Your stroke rate slows way down in here. Okay. Here, let's go back. Let's go back to here real quick, okay? All right. So let's talk about something else here. All right. So your pull path needs a lot of work, okay? Your pull path is you're out here. You're out here. And not only that, like I say before, your right thumb is just off in La La Land. Get that together. And the reason why I'm worried about that going off in La La Land is I think your fingers are actually pointed forward, okay? Because when you extend that thumb, unless that, because the idea is you want, when you extend that thumb, you see how my fingers are kind of pointing upward, all right? Let's see if we can check this out. This may be another huge difference for another big game changer for you. Let's see if I can hone in on this. Yep. Ah, boom. Let's see here. Right there. There's your fingers. Haha, we found it. We found it. Okay, so here's what's happening. Okay? you're trying to pull back like this, okay? Here's 90 degrees, okay? So you want to be in here to where at this point your arm is pushing backwards, shunting the water behind you, okay? You don't want to pull like this. This shunts the water forward. This doesn't propel you forward. The water, if you move your hand like this, okay, you're trying to go forward, okay? So if your hand is here, when you try and pull forward, that water slips in the wrong direction, okay? So that's an over-exaggerated case there, okay? So if you pull like this with your hand in front of your elbow, you're moving water in the wrong direction. You want to be here, okay? You see how my hand is slightly behind? My hand is behind my elbow, okay? We want to pull through here, all right? So what's happening is you're splaying your hands. You're extending your fingers and your thumb so that it's about here, okay? Now, obviously, this isn't every stroke, but this is a really good indication of what's going on, okay? Get it here, okay? What you want to think of is there's a little string, okay? See my finger? There's my invisible string, okay? When I pull backwards, that the middle finger curls just slightly inward. You don't want to be here. You don't want to be here. Just slightly inward. So you're pushing through this way, okay? You want to move as much water backwards as possible. And what you want to do is you want to shunt as much water backwards as possible. Here, okay? Here. So you're here at the front. And when I get here, I'm pushing through this way, okay? A little bit of reverse action, okay? Okay, so we're right here. I'm here. I'm here. Here, boom. And then elbow comes up, hand replaces, okay? Keep that finger right about here, okay? And then when you go through, it's pushing that water down through here, okay? All right, so I think that is going to give you a lot more power, okay? What this translates to on the bike, squishy cranks. Squishy cranks. I'm sorry, my mic's in the way. Squishy cranks. When your hand comes like this, it's like you got squishy cranks, okay? You'll lose your stiffness. When you lose your stiffness, you lose your ability to really pull that water. You lose all of your power, okay? Not only that, you're slipping, right? It's like you're trying to run on ice. You're not really getting that grip on the water, okay? You're losing power and you're losing your grip on the water, which makes you lose your power. I repeat myself. So I think those two things are definitely going to be your biggest game changers, okay? So let's just roll through. Let's see if there's anything else that I want to pick up. The main things I want to look at. So like right here, your turn is not bad. Your turn is not bad. I think you overreach on your breathe a little bit at times. And what I say overreaching is when you breathe, you kind of go a little bit past 90 degrees, okay? Don't let that neck rotate. Don't let that arm get up here, okay? There's an imaginary barrier above you. You don't want it over. Never go over. Don't open that shoulder up. Keep that shoulder closed, okay? Shoulders stay a little bit forward. You want to be about as diametrically opposed as possible, but you never want to be back. Never open one of those shoulders, okay? Number one, that's going to lead to shoulder problems. I guarantee it. Number two, you're going to be opening yourself up to really weird stroke things, okay? We don't want to do that. So keep those shoulders a little bit forward, especially when you're doing these drills. When you do these dry line drills, don't just go blah, 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 blah. You want to go pop, 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 pop. Engage that core. Your core is huge here. Core is huge. Pop, 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 pop. Okay? And also the other thing too with rotation, with your kick in sprinting, you do not rotate the lower body that much. You maybe go a couple of degrees. In distance, I go full blown almost 90 degrees on my side. I'm about 80, 85 degrees ish when I rotate to the side. And I've learned how to move, how to kind of fandangle my kick. It's kind of a hot mess, but it totally makes sense. Trust me, I do it all the time. I'm an expert. Anyway, so I've just been doing this crap a long time. Okay. So what we want? So we really want to focus on rotating those shoulders, getting that power. But that rotation comes from the power. Okay. All right. So let's keep going. Your recovery looks fine. Every once in a while, you get a little bit high on the left arm. Let's see here. Okay, you got a good, you're not overreaching in the front, which is good. Okay, all right. So when I say you're not overreaching in the front is you're not overreaching, okay? Your hand placement is really good. Your hand placement is just about right where it needs to be. We don't want to overreach and we don't want to go out to the sides because that doesn't do anything. We want to be right in line, and that's just about where you are, which is really, really good. So, there was one other thing I wanted to talk about. What did I want to talk about? Okay. Oh, kick. Let's talk about kick for a minute, okay? So, like I said before, I can't tell if you're bending your knees when you kick, because you're making a lot of white water, which is a really good sign. But if it's that's not doing you anything. When that knee bends, your legs are toast, okay? If that upper thigh is not moving, pop, 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 okay? Pop, 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 pop. I know that didn't make any sense. Let me explain. The idea is your upper leg is much more thicker than your lower leg, okay? So if all you're doing is this, okay, only bending at the knee and from your calf down kicks, if that's it, you got about half the kick, okay? You only got about half of what you need. Excuse me. And you only got about half of your kick. When you start working, here, let me shift this down a little bit. When you start working on your entire leg of kicking, as opposed to just bending the knee, and let me show some skin here. Okay, so when you go from this to this, okay, you get a lot more power out of that kick. Now, remember, freestyle kick is only about 3 to 6% of your stroke. Remember that. Remember that, kids. Your kick is worthless. No, it isn't worthless. It's very important. 2 reasons. Number 1, as I said before, drives the momentum of your arms. One of the things that I've noticed with high school swimmers, hands down, the easiest way to get their arms moving faster is getting their legs moving faster, okay? It is very easy to have... Hold up. I'm sorry. I hear strange commotions outside. No, we're good. It's very, very, very easy to have slow legs and fast arms. It's pretty easy. Give it a shot sometime. It's called pulling. But it is very, very, very hard to have fast legs and slow arms. Insanely difficult. You have to be very, very cognizant. You have to be very, very focused on what you're doing to have slow arms and fast kick. Okay? So you increase the kick, you increase the arms. It's almost... all the kids I've worked with over the past 5 years, that has been true of every single one. Make their legs go faster, you make their arms go faster. Hands down. But, Henry, for you, your legs are going fast, but the question is, are they pushing anything? Okay? The way to know if you're really pushing anything is kicking against a wall. Okay? So what you do is you get your family-friendly wall, hold the wall, okay? And then you're going to start kicking. Okay? Okay? So you're going to start kicking. Okay? Then you kick faster. 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 faster, faster. You only do it for about 20 seconds, okay? Every couple of seconds, you increase the tempo, all right? I want you to move your legs faster than what you think is possible, all right? Faster than what you think is possible. Because here's the deal. Lots of people, they have no idea what their fastest possible is. I know, it sounds crazy, but they have no idea how fast is how fast I can go. I always encourage swimmers at their first JV, at their first inter-squad meet. Take that race out like it's your last race and you are at the freaking Olympics. That is what you do. You take it out like you were in the Olympics and you are beating Michael Phelps. And then whatever happens in the rest of the race happens. Because there is a good chance, especially if you're swimming 100 or 200, you are going to hate life for the last 25. And that is the goal. The goal is to see how far you can push your body. Because over the course of 100, you're not going to wreck yourself. It's very hard to wreck yourself in terms of like, I'm blacking out. I actually almost blacked out during a 500 freestyle once. I took my 500 freestyle at a junior Olympic meet faster than my entered 200 freestyle time. And I still had 300 more yards to go. And I realized after I swam the thing, I was the third fastest 200 split behind Aaron Pearsall, who held every single world record in the all backstroke events at one point, and Michael Kavik, the dude who almost beat Michael Phelps in that iconic 100 butterfly in Athens, Greece. Yeah, I almost blacked out at the 400. Between 400 and 425, I forgot what I was doing, and I almost hit the wall with my head. I snapped out of it right before I flipped turned. Yeah, that was glorious. But I dropped 20 seconds in the 500 freestyle. I dropped like over 10 to 15 seconds in the 500 freestyle. I went from 64th to 22nd, and I qualified to swim at night. So doing stupid things really helps. And when you're in off-season training and you want to do this, these are the things that you want to try out. You want to try to push your body as hard as you can for a complete 100. A 100, it's only going to be about a minute. You'll recover. You'll be fine. Trust me, it's going to suck for about 5 to 10 minutes. Swim a couple nice laps. You'll be right as rain. Trust me. Have a really good drink afterward. It's all going to be peachy. So what you need to do is you got to figure out how far you can push your body in terms of sprinting. Because, Henry, you know how to push your body in terms of distance. I don't know if you know how to push your body in terms of an absolute dead nut sprint in water. Completely different than sprinting on the bike. Completely different than sprinting on the land. Because you got your arms. Your arms are moving, okay? You got to learn how to harness that power. And by learning the pull path, which remember, the pull path we want is after you extend forward, that hand, oh yeah, this was the other thing, okay? No hand out here. The laces are in, okay? We want that hand on the inside, okay? The reason why is in sprinting, you don't have time to do that. No, we don't want to do this. No. This hand rotation thing is a big no-no. We want to be here, ready to pull. Not here. This loses power. Loses a ton of power. As opposed to here, bam. Okay? Whoa, boom. Okay? Your belly button is your friend when you're doing dry land. You want to be here, pop down to your belly button, okay? Okay? You want to be here. Because this gets you about 90 degrees, okay? And if you want to really slow it down, bicep, tricep, squeeze both. Squeeze both. You'll pop right here at about 90 degrees, okay? Okay? You probably want to be at about 110, but this will be about your sweet spot. Somewhere around the belly button, okay? Your belly button is your friend. Because when you're underwater, that puts you right about here. Okay? This is the right about amount of distance that you want to be. This is about perfect, okay? This involves your lower arm. This gets your upper arm to about here. Up to about this point, your arm is pulling. Your entire arm pulls, not just your hand. Gotta know that. And get those hands tipped inward. Inward during that catch. Inward during that catch. Catch, push. 75% of your pull is a push. Don't think of it as a pull, think of it as a push. You're pushing that water backwards. Bam! All the way back. Okay? So, all right, Henry, that's about all I got for you. Hope that you'll be able to learn some things from this session. Definitely, if you have any questions at all, hit me up. Totally a la orden. Como se dicen los hispanos, estoy a la orden. I am at your beck and call. I got nothing better to do at nights most of the time, so I might as well make some videos, right? So, okay, so Henry, I wish you good luck. And to the rest of Team Zoot who may be watching this, thank you so much for tuning in. Please direct message me on Facebook and get me your footage, and I will continue to help make you a faster swimmer. So anyway, this is the Pharaoh with Pharaoh's Swim Tech, and until later, good night, Isaiah Norris, wherever you are, we're out of here. Good night, everyone. Good night.